this is the first session for elective 3. Previously, last week, no, ang ginawa natin was I asked you to download the Adobe XD kasi yun yung gagamitin natin for the whole 9 weeks. Okay, so most of our materials na gagamitin for this activity was get from Creative Nation since SPCF is in partner with the Adobe. Some of the materials was given to us, and one of which is the book and list of materials and lectures coming from Creative Nation. So we are lucky that Creative Nation would give us this material because this was came from the actual Adobe. So it was not created by uh, an individual who is learning the Adobe XD, but then it is from the creative mismo, no? From which kung sino yung gumawa talaga ng Adobe XD. Okay? Now, yan na lang natin ito. Medyo Photoshop. Control size. Anyway, ganyan yung pinakamalapit niya na akin. So welcome to elective 3. So most of our activity would be done using Adobe products. So we are already familiar with some of the Adobe products such Photoshop, Illustrator, Animate. Yung mga yon would help us to deal with this elective 3. Now, ano ba yung magiging case natin dito sa elective 3? Ang magiging case kasi natin dito, medyo it is part of it is still part of entertainment and multimedia computing since it is a design. Okay, but more of you are going to design different interfaces. This would allow you to have an optional field in the industry later on. Okay, since it is also a part of designing. So dito makikita niyo yung different possible different designs, no, possible different colors and so on. That is applied in the industry. So which means activities under here would be done using Adobe XD. Okay. So let's start with the UIUX design for beginners using Adobe XD. So this is the actual presentation, no? Ito yung presentation that was created again by Creative Nation. So before last week, I asked you to download Adobe XD. So meron ba nagkaroon ng problema sa Adobe XD? Meron ba tayong nagkaroon ng problem with Adobe XD?
Wala naman po, sir.
Wala naman. Okay, so that's good, no? Now, do not be confused. There is an equivalent app on Adobe XD, but that particular app would not allow you to create. No? Ano lang yon? Yung app na yon would just be an emulator. So halimbawa, gusto mo makita yung actual app na ginagawa mo dun sa cellphone, okay? You may view that, you may emulate that using your cellphone para makikita mo yung actual app, no? Pero okay, you cannot create yung parang pinaka magke-create ka, no? It would be difficult on the phone rather than creating it on an actual PC or a laptop. Okay? So yeah. So you may visit different sites like Creative Nation PH, no? Yan para makakita. Now, hindi lang kasi Adobe XD yung inaano ni Creative Nation. Madami yan. Okay? So, Creative Nation is a learning institution for creative and marketing disciplines recognized globally for producing some of the world's best creative professionals. Um, they are also an authorized training center, which means if you want to do a certification, we are familiar with MTA, right? Yung mga certifications that you have did before uh, with the Microsoft, no? So siguro nag-take kayo dati nun, no? Also, you can create you may achieve certification using this, using Adobe XD. So if you want to be certified, Creative Nation is capable of certifying you. So nga lang, magte-take kayo ng examination. So may examination lang yan. Right? Okay. So ano ba yung ginagawa ni Creative Nation? I mean, uh, of course, binibigyan ko lang kayo ng idea kung ano yung ginagawa ni Creative Nation. Okay, so they want to elevate the status of Filipinos to create for the world. So maybe the Creative Nation wants to uh, be famous that Filipinos could create for the world. So parang gusto nilang ipakalat, or they want to achieve that Filipinos can do more in creating, in creation, in designs, and more. Okay. So uh, these are the things that we need to have: the tools, the knowledge, and then the conduct. Okay. So what particular tools do we have? The tools that we're going to use are the Adobe products, such Illustrator. Uh, we also need Photoshop, the Adobe XD, no? Yung animate, hindi naman natin gagamitin yan kasi uh, these are flat image. These are stock image. Okay, so walang animation na mangyayari. More of, it's like, actually para lang kayo gumagawa dito ng PowerPoint presentation. Ganun lang. So napakadali na itong subject na to. Okay? So hindi kayo mahihirapan. Then the knowledge that is being uh, transferred to you by this lecture. Ang mangyayari kasi dito parang more of konti lang ang discussion natin dito eh. Kasi once na alam nyo na talaga yung Adobe XD, simple activities would do. Okay, napakadali. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, it's like PowerPoint presentation lang. Para lang kayo gumagawa ng PowerPoint presentation. That you link, no? And then, yun na yun, no? No coding needed, no scripting needed, no? All you have to do is paganahin lang talaga yung creative juices nyo para makapag-create kayo ng mga uh, eye-catchy designs, clean designs, yung mga ganun. Okay? Conduct. So once you have tools, you have the knowledge, now's the time you're going to do it using an actual. Okay? True laboratory activities that I'm going to provide you later on. Okay, so synchronous online learning, we're going to do it. Rewatch as many times. If you need to watch again the video, this is uploaded naman, di ba? We always record our discussion so that if you need to rewatch the video for tutorial purposes, you may still do it. So halimbawa, naglag yung unit nyo, naglag yung internet connection nyo, you still can go back with our previous discussion. So I don't always find the TV series I like on Netflix. But when I do, I watch all 6 seasons in 6 days. So ano bang ibig sabihin nito? Okay? Ano ba ibig sabihin nito? Yeah, I'll give you 3 minutes. Paki-type nga yung answer niya. Anong ibig sabihin niyan? Any insight about this? Kapag sinabi natin, I don't always find the TV series I like on Netflix, but when I do, I watch all 6 seasons in 6 days. I'll give you 3 minutes. I want your answers on this. 2 minutes lang pala. Pa-type nyo lang naman. All-in-one season ng mga series sa Netflix. Okay. How about the others? No answers, no attendance, okay?
Ano po yung question, sir?
Ha?
Ano po yung question kanina, sir? Tinawag lang po kasi ako kanina.
Ayan, yung I don't always find a TV series like on Netflix. Yan. Ano ibig sabihin yan? Yan, yung image na nandyan. Okay? 2 minutes over. Okay? Yung iba siguro nag-login lang dito eh. So, dalawa lang yung preset. Tinagalog nyo lang. Anyway, so anong ibig ba sabihin nito? I don't always find a TV series like on Netflix, but when I do, I watch all 6 seasons in 6 days. That means that, let's say for example, a certain person doesn't always find their hobby, their likes, but when they do, no, they always tend to finish it. They always tend to see it na kailangan 100% nagagawa ko siya. So, okay, naging literal lang tayo na talagang Netflix tapos series. No? It's not like that. I mean, let's say for example, no? Software doesn't always interest me. So, halimbawa, let's say for example, there are a lot of software out there for animation, for designing, but then when I find something that interests me, the software that interests me, okay, I will always find a way that this is the software that I'm going to study for its 100% functionality. That's what this image means. Okay? It's not really about Netflix. Okay, let's move on. Okay. So let's move on with what is UI/UX. Okay, so what is UI/UX? What is the difference? Kasi we always hear UI/UX. Actually, UI/UX ano lang yan, 5 years ago lang siya nagkaroon ng ah, nagkaroon ng parang popularity. Before kasi UI/UX was not really in the market. No? Kumbaga, hindi pa talaga siya ganun kakilala. Pero ngayon, each of the department, each of BPO, each of uh, 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 outsourcing business do have an engineer for UI/UX. No? So if you are familiar with UI/UX and you pursue it as a career, you would be a UI/UX engineer, okay, in a particular company. If you are good in design, no? Again, sinasabi ko nga sa inyo, you are not limited with animation. You are capable also in designing. Kasi pagka once na nagtrabaho kayo, hindi naman lahat kayo mapupunta in in the animation department. Some of you would do assets, would do drawing, would do designs, no? So this is a good opportunity for you to learn a bit of UI/UX. Okay. Now let's find out the difference. Okay. Now, I'll give you 2 minutes. Anong pinagkaiba nila maliban sa itsura? Okay? Anong pinagkaiba nila maliban sa itsura?
Design sa
Pakitype yung mga answers natin on the chat box. I want everybody to answer this. Okay? Para sigurado akong hindi kayo matutulog. Siyempre, nakakita naman na tayo ng ganito, di ba? Okay. Logo design, pati po yung mismong product, yung functionality, size design, kung paano gamitin, shape and design. Okay. Now, this is the product 1. Okay. This is the product 2. Na-distinguish ni Luigi yung lasa nito. So, ibig sabihin, mas masarap. Ano mas masarap dito? Okay? Yung taste daw eh. Okay? Now, this is the product 1, this is the product 2. Which is more in overall, ano yung mas okay dyan? Product 1 or product 2? Pakitype yung answer. Let's see, tignan natin kung product 2. Okay, product 1 si Jolito. Okay. Okay. Now, maybe yung mga ganito, meron kayo sa bahay, no? Okay. Now, this is a typical what do you call this? Typical representation of what is user interface and user experience is. So UI is user interface, and then UX means user experience. So as you can see, if we focus on the user interface, this is ito yan, yung output. Okay? The physical, okay? Yung nakikita natin. So this is the user interface. Now the user experience is once we use the product, the convenience, okay? The experience that we get from this. Now, tinanong ko sa inyo kanina, which is more better na gamitin? Is it this one or this one? Majority sa inyo, sinabi, etong number 2. Why? Bakit? Kasi siguro, dahil naka-bottom down na siya na ganyan, all you have to do is to just open it, then use this. Okay? Bakit ito? Usually, mga ganito kasing ketchup is, di ba, pagka binuksan mo yan, talagang tataktakin mo yan na ganyan, no? Minsan sasabog pa yan. Okay, talagang gaganyanin mo yan, no? Okay? Okay, tapos hindi mo makokontrol. Hindi mo makokontrol yung dami. Kasi pagka gano'n mo, okay, sasabog siya. Okay? Halimbawa, nasobrahan mo ng lakas. Okay? Plus the fact na, halimbawa, nandito na yung laman. Ito na, hanggang dito na lang. Andito yan. Tapos ketchup na ketchup ka na. Okay? Pag tinaktak mo yan, ang tagal niyan bumaba. No? Siguro tapos ka na kumain, tsaka pa lang siya bababa. Okay? So, isa ang gagawin ng iba, lalagyan nila ng konting tubig para isang ganun lang. No? Now, that is user experience. Okay? Now, ano lang drawback nito? Ano lang kaya ang... So, ibig sabihin, ito. In total, ito yan. Ito yung nanalo dyan. No? Ito yung nanalo dyan. Now, ano kaya negative effect nito? Sige nga. Pakitype yung answer. Ano yung negative? Ano yung cons nito? Itong ganitong klase ng ketchup. Kasi parang parang positive lahat ng nakukuha natin eh. Sige nga, what is the cons of this kind of ketchup? Hindi ibig sabihin tomato or ano ha. Ito yung sinasabi natin ha. Sumusobra minsan yung lagay. Sa one sir, sobra din makukuha. Okay? Ito kasi, nakagamit na ba kayo ng ganito? Usually, itong ganito, pinipress yan. Pinipress. So, hindi lalabas yan ng kusa. Okay? Kahit nakaganon yan, papatak lang yan. Pero hindi yan lalabas ng kusa. You have to press it. So, makokontrol mo yung ano niyan, yung labas. Okay? Makokontrol mo yung labas niyan. So, wala akong nakitang answer na tama ah. Okay? Now, ang drawback lang niyan is ito. Okay? You have a good product. You have a good user experience. So, it's like, magaganon mo na. No? Made-design mo pa nga yan. It's like parang smiley, ganon. Pwede yan. No? So that's the good thing with this product. Ito hindi. No? Pagka ginanon mo, talagang buo yan, bilog, malaki. No? Now, anong drawback niya? You have a good product, pero expensive siya. Mas mahal siya. Okay? Compared sa mga ganitong packaging. Okay? In the market, yung mga ganito, that is 250. Ranging from 200 to 250. Okay, pero ito, sa market, no? Nasa 70 pesos lang yan. Okay? Nakukuha nyo ba? Okay, so it's like, if you want a good user interface, if you want a good user experience, you have to invest on it. Okay? So, ganun. Pwede ka naman mag-settle sa medyo mura, okay lang. Okay? Good pa rin naman. Hindi naman nag-iiba yung lasa nitong dalawang to eh. Parehas lang yan ng lasa. Okay? Nagkakaiba lang yan sa packaging. Mas mahal to kasi mas maganda yung packaging niya. Unlike dito. Okay? Pero parehas sila ng lasa. It's like the goal is still there. What is your goal? To taste yung ketchup, no? To use a ketchup. That is your goal. Pero on how are you going to use the ketchup, okay? Doon papasok yung user interface and user experience. Okay? Pero, di ba, parehas yan, makakatikim ka ng ketchup. Nakukuha ba ibig ko sabihin with the UIUX? Okay? Nakukuha ba?
Yes po, sir.
Okay, so yan, no? Okay, so let's move on. So UI is focused on how a product surface looks and functions. Okay? So UX is focused on the user's journey and how it solves the problem. So as I discussed, no, kanina, that's how UI UX works. Again, UI is a user interface and the UX is focused on the user experience journey. Okay? So, user experience, dati kasi puro UI lang tayo. User interface, ganun. So, when user experience was discovered, no, mas gumanda. Mas naging okay yung mga software natin. Nag-iba na totally yung mga different interface and how we use a particular software. So user experience encompasses all aspects of the end user's interaction with the company, its service, and its product by Don Norman. So as I said earlier, no, if you have a good user interface, user experience, I mean, it encompasses the company. Okay, it service, no? Kumbaga, it gives a good service and it gives a good product. So kumbaga, it is entailed on you, no? On you, okay? So yun, no? Okay. So, tingnan natin 'to kailangan. So what is user experience design? So it's about designing the ideal experience of a using service or product. As such, it can involve all types of products and services. So ibig sabihin, user experience design is not just, no, is not just on what they call this, in software, no? Nagkataon lang na si Adobe XD was created to simulate user experience through software, through app, through websites, mga ganyan, no? Okay? Pero, no, uh, user experience and user interface is is being done in all fields, no? In all fields, no? Kahit nga mga relos, no? Cellphone, lahat yan merong UI UX, no? Generally or general, UX practitioners are interested in the relationship between human users and computer-based products used in relation to website, web application, and other software applications. So, with this, no, Adobe XD ang gagamitin natin kasi we are referring to websites, web applications, and other software applications. Okay? So, medyo malabo. So, user experience designs, you have interaction designs, you have product design, user human-centered design, and design thinking. Dyan iikot halos yung mga designs natin. Okay? What is the interaction design? Part of UXD or user experience design is it is the design of the interaction between user and product services. Its goal is to create product service that enables the user to achieve their objective in the best way possible. Ibig sabihin, uh, if your design is interaction design, your goal is to achieve the best way or to achieve the objective the best way possible. Halimbawa, gusto ko lang mag-sign up ng isang app. Okay? So interaction design 'yun. You want the best way possible. Ano ba yung pwedeng the best way possible? Let's say yung design mo ba maghahanap pa ng username, ng password, ng address, ganyan. Or you're just going to have sign in using Google account. Okay? That is a user experience. Dati walang ganon. Okay, we're in. Halimbawa, tatlong registration form ang kailangan ko. Okay, pero dahil meron na akong sign in using Google, no? Or sign in using LinkedIn, okay? Hindi na ako kasi makikita na agad dun yung first name ko, last name ko. So if fill up niya na. That is an interaction design. Okay? So achieving their objective in the best way possible. So isa 'yon sa the best way possible. Okay? Okay. Example. Dimension of interface. Okay? So you have action. So these are word button labels. Okay? So visual representation, these are the icons, typography, images, no? You have, ito yung mga ano ha, what they call this, parang elements in your designs, no? In your, let's say, gumagawa kayo ng interface, no? So yung mga words, these are button labels, no? Okay, so physical objects or space, these are the laptop, smartphone, kiosk, tablet venues, play, surroundings. So, ito yung mga possible na application kung saan nyo pwedeng i-fit yung ginagawa nyo. And then yung time, you have animation, videos, motion, sounds. If, no? Lalagyan natin. Then behavior, these are the different reactions, success, fails, and difficulty. So, yeah. Hindi kasi masyadong kita eh. Kahit i-zoom in natin. Medyo pangit yung quality ng naibigay nila. Anyway. Layers. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So data, insights, logic, context, psychology, presentation, usability, testing, iteration, and improvement. These are the different layers. Ibig sabihin na ito rin yung masasabi natin that UI, UX exist because of the following. Yung mga to. Okay? Okay. Medyo malabo lang. Okay, so basahin ko na lang. Inspiration, ideation, and implementation. These are the three, no? Na parang framework ni UI UX, no? So, inspiration. So, how do I get started? Yan yung mga question that. How do I conduct an interview and how do I stay human-centered? Okay, pag sinabi nating human-centered, it's like you are considering the users not familiar with computer kasi kayo kahit na anong app yung ipagamit sa inyo, you can use it, no? Hindi kayo masyadong mahirapan to adjust kasi you are a computer related course. But not all of your user later on would be a computer related course, no? So pag sinabi nating human-centered, this means for the general public. Ibig sabihin, you're not considering all of them as computer-related. No? Meron dyan senior, meron dyan bata. So, yung mga ganun. Okay, so ideation, how can I interpret that what I've learned? How do I turn my insights into tangible ideas? And how do I make prototype? Okay, so once you have the idea, you may have it on parang idodrawing mo muna, no? Okay. So these are the collecting your ideas, okay? Then implementation, how do I make my concept real? Of course, hindi nyo naman talaga siya gagawing real. It's merely a prototype pa rin. How do I assess the working? How do I assess its working? How do I plan to sustain it? Yan yung implementation. Ito naman pagka ginawa mo na. Okay, pagka ginagawa na yung sistema. Okay. So, pwede nating sundin to. Empathize, so interview, shadowing, seek to understand, non-judgmental. Okay, so ano ba ibig sabihin na itong mga to? So, you may conduct. Pag sinabi nating empathize is you are seeking empathy. It's like you are putting your shoes on them. Okay, you are wearing their shoes. Parang iniisip mo, siya ikaw. Okay, siya ikaw, no? So, kaya sinabi niya non-judgmental. Seek to understand. Try to understand them. Okay? So, define. Next is define personas, role, objective, decision, and challenges and pain points. Ano itong mga to. So, you're just going to define them. Then, ideate. So, share ideas, alt-worthy ideas, diverge, converge, yes, and thinking, prioritize. So, ito yung kanina. No? So after you collide all your ideas, you prioritize, no? Lahat ba ng idea mo is worthy? If not, you cross out some, no? You try to share your ideas para at least kahit papaano, if your group do have another idea, you may get from them, no? Then prototype, these are your mock-ups, storyboards, keep it simple, fail fast, iterate quickly. So lastly is your test. So role play yan, no? Parang ito-test mo siya, emulate mo siya, and so on. So this is another, no? Ito kasi yung mga different framework eh. 'Di ba? Parang ano yan, ito yung mga pwede mong sundin para makapag-create ka ng interface. So iniisa-isa ko siya, ha? So ito naman, tatlo lang yung process niya: observe, reflect, and make. Okay, so immerse yourself in the real world. Kumbaga parang, you get along. Okay, reflect, come together, and look within, and then make, give concrete form to abstract ideas. So it's like observation. This is morely observation, then pick what you've observed, ano-ano yung mga nakuha mo doon, then you make it. Right? So this is another design strategy. No? So define, ideate, prototype, build, and analyze. Okay? So halos pare-parehas lang sila. Yung pinagkaiba lang nila is yung what they call this, steps, no? Pero lahat sila would the focus is to create. Okay? Ganun din to, no? Yeah. So pare-parehas lang sila. You also have discover, define, develop, deliver. Ito naman is if you have already developed and you have a client, you deliver. Okay? So is there a preferred way? So nasa sa inyo na. Kung ano yung sa tingin nyo na parang which is much. Pero yung ganong documentation, these are if you need to submit a documentation. Pero sa atin naman, more of puro magde-design tayo na. Okay. Yun ako nga sino na yung mga preset, bakit parang hindi kayo nadadagdagan. Okay. Okay. So what is the role of a UX, user experience designer? Some who investigates and analyze how user feel about the products he or she offers them. So UX designers then apply this knowledge to the product development in order to ensure that the user has the best possible experience within the product. Enable yourself to be indispensable person because you can speak both language. Okay, so those are the role of a user experience designer. Okay? Minsan, no, yung user experience and user interface, sila na rin yun. Isa na rin yan. Okay? Kasi sila na rin naman gumawa ng user interface. Eh. So, yung user experience designer na rin ang gagawa nung experience, no? It's like, halimbawa, gusto ko lang mag sign up. Okay, papahirapan ba ako ng app mo para makapag-sign up ako? So, yung mga ganun. Okay? So, these are the essential key traits of UX designer. So, empathy, determination, lifelong learner, patience, communication, risk taker, organization, and user research. So, ito yung mga skills na kailangan. Okay, so some of which alam na natin yan. So, okay, lifelong learner, ibig sabihin, these are the persons who long for education pa rin. Ibig sabihin, gusto pa rin matuto. Okay? Okay. Why do user experience design? So bakit nga ba natin dapat gawin ito? Okay? UX design is vital not only for the end user but also for the business and brands. From a customer perspective, so lagi naman yan eh. Ang iniisip mo kasi dyan, customer experience. Lagi naman yan. Wala naman tayong hindi naman natin i-consider yung sarili natin kasi yung company hindi naman siya yung gagamit doon. It's your client. Okay? So, ganyan. Now, from simple listing of everyday tasks such as adding a meeting to a calendar or chatting with friends and shopping items online. Ganun. Oh, di ba kayo? Halimbawa, gusto nyo tawagan yung isang kaibigan nyo. Minsan, hindi nyo na tinatawagan using number nila eh. Di ba? Minsan, diretso na sa messenger. Bakit kaya? Kasi doon nyo na rin sila nakakausap eh. Hindi na nga kayo masyado naglo-load eh. It's because of the experience of that particular app. Yung sa messenger. No? Yung ganon. Okay? So, 83% of customers says that seamless experience across all devices is very much important to them. Can you elaborate this? Okay, 2 minutes. Sige nga, anong ibig sabihin nito? 83% of consumers says that seamless design experience across all devices is very important to them. Okay, so 2 minutes. Okay, mali yung question ko. Bigyan nyo ako ng example nito. Okay? I'll give you 3 minutes. Bigyan nyo ako ng example nito. Let me remind everyone that this is recorded and all your answers is being logged. Once the session is completed, it would send to me a notepad notification about our conversation. So, lahat ng pinapa-answer ko sa inyo should be answered. Pagka merong isang kulang sa inyo, will be considered as absent for today. Okay? Ibig sabihin, kapag ka isa sa mga questions ko yung hindi sinagot, that means you are considered absent. Now, give me example for this. Anong ibig sabihin na ito? Bigyan nyo ako ng example kung naiintindihan natin. Okay? Kasi ang ginagawa nyo, tinatagalog nyo lang yung English eh. Nahalata ko na eh. Now, give me example. Okay, tatlo pa lang yung sumagot. How about the others? Okay, let me give you an example. No? So, ilan lang. Okay. So 83% of consumers says that seamless experience across all devices is very important to them. Halimbawa ako. Okay? Let me give you an example. Google account. Your Gmail account. Okay? So halimbawa, no? Nag-check ako ng Gmail using my laptop. Okay? So, nag-delete na ako ng mga messages using my laptop. Okay? Pag nag-check ako ng email ko using the phone, deleted na rin siya. Okay? That is a cross-platform. Okay? So, napaka-seamless niya. Kung ano yung ginagawa ko dito, ganun din yung nangyayari doon. So, kung naka-close yung laptop ko, and I need to reply, okay? Kasi merong nag-email sa akin, no? Magna-notify sa phone ko. Magre-reply ako through my email. Okay? Pagbukas ko naman ng laptop ko, na-replyan na yon. Nagsisync sila. Right? That is seamless. That is seamless. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, across different platforms, they have sync. Okay? They have sync. Halimbawa naman, no? Bigyan ko kayo ng isa pang example. Halimbawa, no? Nakalimutan niyo yung password ng Facebook niyo. Okay? And then, kailangan mong palitan. So, across all platform, across all devices, lahat yon mapapalitan na ng password. Hindi yung papalitan mo dito, papalitan mo pa ulit sa app. No? That is a seamless experience. Okay, so 83% ang nagsasabi na napakaganda. Okay, kapag ka ang app is across all platform, ibig sabihin kung anong ginagawa ko dito, pag lumipat ako, ganun yung nangyari. Kung ano yung previous ko dito na status, pag lumipat ako, would be the same. Hindi ko kailangan ulitin. Kasi nakasync siya. Okay, that is a user experience. Example yun ng isang user experience. Okay? So, yan. Continue tayo. So, nakalagay naman dito, 90% of user will stop using an app because of poor performance. Now, question. Bigyan nyo nga ako ng app na nagamit nyo, na sa tingin nyo, napaka-poor ng performance at hindi nyo na ginamit. Okay? Sige nga. Let me see. Skype. Pa. Hindi nyo na ginamit kasi may messenger na. Dati yan ang video call. Any Apple app, sir. Ano ka siguro, no? Ayaw mo siguro ng Apple. Kaya ganyan. Viber. Apple hater ka, no? Ato ka, ha? Pero kung bibigyan ka ng Apple ngayon, kukunin mo. Malamang. TeamViewer. Okay? Okay, so Ibig sabihin, no? Performance matters, no? Performance matters. Halimbawa kayo, nag-ano kayo, okay. Bigyan ko kayo ng example. Sino mas gusto nyo? Lazada or Shopee?
Shopee, sir.
Okay. Sige nga,
Shopee, sir.
type nyo nga, Lazada or Shopee, tapos bakit? Bakit yun yung mas gusto nyo? Sige nga, para makita ko lang. Shopee, mas mura. Sabi nila. Shopee, mas mura ang shipping. Sa Lazada, maraming fake. Shopee. Maraming voucher. Shopee. Yes, hello. Okay, 5 minutes. Water break, CR break, no? May kukunin lang ako sa baba. Okay, may pinapatawag lang ako. 5 minutes lang. Okay, let's continue. Now let's move on with the design principle for user experience. So first design principle is yung tinatawag nating AUE. Okay, ano ba itong AUE? Okay? Ito yung tinatawag na aesthetic usability effect. Okay? If it look good, it must be better when perception becomes reality. So kung halimbawa, no? Ang explanation nito is kung halimbawa nakikita natin na maganda siya, okay? If it look good, it must be better. Okay? So ang perception mo agad, okay? Kapag ka maganda siya, madali siyang gamitin. Much better siya. Okay? So, yan, no? May effect agad siya. So, if things are beautiful, people tend to, okay, kapag ka nakikita kasi nila maganda yung interface, no? People tend to what? To be more receptive, have a front value, no? More desirable, perceive them as to be easier to use, more loyal to the subject, patient, and tolerant. Okay? Ano ibig sabihin nun? Example na ito. iPhone. Okay? Yan na lang natin ng example, iPhone. No? Kahit na iPhone hater and basher si Tyron. Okay? Okay, let's see the example like this. Ano yung latest na iPhone na lalabas or lumabas na? Okay, yung iPhone 12 ba 'yan? Okay? I believe iPhone 12 'yan, no? Yung iPhone 10 dati ay iPhone 11 ba? Okay. Yung previous iPhone, no? Look at this picture here. Okay? Ito yung pila ng mga tao na pumila sa labas ng Apple Store just to get the latest iPhone. Okay? Ito yung tinatawag nating aesthetic usability effect. Okay? Balikan natin to. They are be more receptive. Ibig sabihin, mas gusto nila. Okay? Okay? More loyal to the subject. Okay? Patient and tolerant. Okay? Balikan natin to. Huh? Mahal ang iPhone, right? Mahal ang iPhone. Pero, why do uh, they still want iPhone? Okay? Because of there's something with iPhone, okay, na gustong-gusto nila which keep them loyal. And that is the AUE. Okay? It's like kahit na anong phone yung ipagamit mo sa akin, I would stick to iPhone. Okay? Kasi mas sanay ako, mas gusto ko yung interface niya. Nagagandahan ako sa kanya. Okay? Why do people stick with Samsung? Okay? Ganun din. Okay? Now kayo, mapipiliin ko kayo. Okay? If you were given a brand of laptop that you want to use and replace, anong brand yon? Sige nga, pakitype sa akin. Like for me, myself, no? Ever since that I have laptop, I always do Asus. Lagi ako, no? And for the phone, I always choose Samsung. Okay? Because of the AUE. How about you? Okay, what particular brand of laptop you are loyal to? Sige nga, let me see. 1 minute. Asus pa. Asus din. Asus, no? Asus. Marami sa inyo Asus, no? Okay. Mac Pro. Yung iba naman talaga. So, Mac. Okay. So, generally, no? Puro Asus. Okay. May Acer, no? Okay. So, yan, no? So, di ba? Kapag ka kayo, regardless what model it is, no? Kahit may Mac, no? Mga ganon. You will still go with the product or the brand that you used to. Kasi, kumbaga, mas gusto mo siya, mas nakasanayan mo, and you're loyal to it, no? Isa nga nakikipag-away ka pa sa brand, no? Yan. Yan, no? So yan, kagaya niyan. If you are going to choose, no? Kung bibigyan kayo, papipiliin kayo, is it the MacBook, the iMac, or a laptop? Sige nga. Laptop agad. Okay. How about the others? Let's hear from the others. Yan natin. Experiment time. Laptop. Laptop pa rin, ha? Talaga, ha? Okay. Laptop. Okay. Regardless, kahit na anong ano to, no? Regardless, let's say, i3, ganyan, no? Okay, dual core, ganyan. Baga, you always think of, siguro, kaya laptop ang kinukuha nyo dyan is, you always think of the portability. Lahat, no? Pwede mong dalhin kahit saan. Okay? Yan, no? Tapos, hindi pa siya bulky. Okay, sometimes you don't need to put it in the socket, no? Just to use it, no? Plus, the power is battery. Okay? So, yan, no? Yan. Yan. So, example ulit, no? Ng user experience natin. Okay, so, this one, ito, yung iPhone to siguro, pagka nalaglag, it breaks the screen. Okay? Ito naman, yung Nokia, pag nalaglag, it breaks the floor. Alright? It's a user of course, it would not break the floor. Ang ibig lang sabihin nito, kahit na malaglag mo to ng ilang beses, di ba? Mawawasak lang to. Okay, magkakalas-kalas lang 'yan. Pero pag nilagay mo ulit 'yan, okay? Pag nilagay mo ulit 'yan, gumagana pa rin 'yan. Okay, itong mga to kasi may mga board na 'yan eh. Mga digital board, may mga screen panel na. Ito kasi kahit na kalahati dito matapyas, gumagana pa rin. So that is a user experience. Okay. So halimbawa ito. Okay. Papipiliin kayo, this is 1, this is 2. Which is mas okay sa inyo ang user interface? And sa tingin niyo mas madaling gamitin? 1 or 2? Nga. 1. Okay? Kasi you are used to with this, you know, you are used to with this interface already, no? Yan, so, maski yung, di ba yung mga calendar natin, ganito na rin yung itsura. Okay? Now, how will you implement AUE? Okay, paano? Okay? So, flexibility, usability, trade-off. Okay? Parang, ano bang ibig sabihin nito? There should be a versus ba? So, as the flexibility of the system increase, its usability decreases. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Okay? Insight? Sige, 1 minute. As flexibility of the system increases, its usability decreases. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Any insights? 1 minute. Pakitype yung answer. Pag madalas, siguro ginagamit yung system, sir, mas nagde-degrade over time. Parang madali na lang siya gamitin, sir, kung hindi mo na kailangan ilaan ng todo yung oras mo para makuha yung idea na hinahanap mo. Okay. You guys are, lahat kayo required mag-answer ng mga question ko, ha? That's why hindi ako nagpapa-mic on. Lahat ng questions ko should be answered using our group chat, our chat box. Okay? Okay. So, the answer is this, no? The more functions and features you have, okay, means you have to sacrifice to make it more efficient and useful. Okay? Halimbawa, no? Ang kailangan mo lang calendar. Okay? So, calendar lang. Okay? Pero nilagyan mo pa ng function na makakapag-schedule ka, makakapaglagay ka ng notes, no? Okay? Makakapag-alarm ka dun sa calendar na yon, makakapag-insert ka ng event, no? So, dinadamihan mo. Okay? So again, the more features you have means you have to sacrifice the efficiency and useful. Okay? Pero ang gusto lang ng user mo is a calendar. Okay? So that is flexibility and usability trade-off. Okay? The more na ginagawa mong flexible yung design mo, mas bumababa yung chance, okay, na magiging efficient siya. Kasi dumadami, mas nalilito yung user. Okay, ang gusto lang naman niya is calendar. Makita lang yung day-to-day calendar. Pero dahil nilagyan mo pa ng mga maraming kiniklik, no, nahihirapan siya. Okay? So that is the flexibility and usability trade-off. Okay? Now, example natin. Just two. No? Sa tingin nyo, sino yung mas in general, mas okay? This one or the number two? One or two? Okay, type yung answer. One. Okay, one. Okay, one. So when it comes to, balikan natin to, no? Usability and flexibility trade-off. This is much flexible. Okay, kasi lahat pwede mong, no? Pwede mong gawin eh. Kasi you have Swiss knife, no? Lahat, no? Pero halimbawa, kailangan mo mag-cut off ng wood, no? Mag-cut off ng wood or mag-cut off ng meat. Okay? Sino ang mas usable? Sino yung mas madaling makakakat? Okay? It's the number 2. No? Okay? It's the number 2. Much efficient siya in one particular job. Okay? In one particular job. And that is to cut off. Ito, okay? Flexible siya. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang isang job ang kaya niya, madami. Nga lang, no? Nga lang, the more you have functions on it, the much less niyang magagawa yung isang bagay. Yun yung efficiency na tinatawag natin. Say you want to cut something, dahil mas maliit yung blade niya, mas matagal niyang makakat. Pero bigyan mo siya ng ibang way, halimbawa magbubukas siya ng lata, no? Mas mabilis magagawa ng iba. Magbubukas siya ng cork, yan. Okay, so siguro naman nagigets natin yung ibig ko sabihin doon. Yan. Okay. Flexibility and usability trade-off again. Okay. Bigyan kita ng mga remote controls. 1, 2, 3. Anong mas madaling gamitin? 1, 2, 3. Three. Sabi, 3. Ano pa? 3. Okay, kasi nasanay tayo sa ganyang klase ng mga remote nowadays, no? Okay? Pero kung halimbawa, no, bigyan ko kayo ng example, okay? Ang gusto ko lang gawin is power on and power off, then volume lang. Okay? Hindi naman ako naglilipat ng channel, which is much easier. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Ayun, no? Kasi limbawa, no? Bigyan ko kayo ng example. Your grandmother, no? Yung lola nyo. Okay? Hindi naman niya nanonood ng ibang channel. Halimbawa, balita lang. Okay? Hindi niya itatouch yung channel button. Hindi niya itatouch yung mga number na yan. Yung mga settings na yan. Ang itatouch lang yan, volume, trust me, and power on. Yun lang. Okay? Bigyan mo siya neto, malilito siya. Minsan makakalimutan niya pa. Tatanungin niya pa, ilipat mo nga sa ganitong channel. Okay? So that is user experience. And that is flexibility versus or flexibility and usability trade-off. Okay? Hindi lahat, no? Hindi lahat applicable to. Hindi lahat applicable to. Hindi lahat applicable to. Okay? Kaya nga medyo mahirap eh. Saan ka lulugar? It's like, where do you place yourself? Is it with this age group? Is it with this age group or with another age group? So, depending kasi kung saan intended yung design mo. Okay? When should you consider? Okay? It is suboptimal performance, not a factor. It is performance stable. Are the performance requirements similar? Can the function be modularized in the design? Does the value of flexibility justify the performance trade-off? So, halimbawa, balikan natin to. Ito bang mga to, kailangan siya ilagay? So, kung yes, okay lang. If no, tatanggalin na. Okay? So, yan, no? Ito yung mga question na kailangan nyo i-consider. Now, how will you implement flexibility and usability trade-off? Paano natin i-implement yun? Okay? Hicks law. Okay? The time it takes to make a decision increases as the number of alternative increases. Okay? Anong ibig sabihin nito? Okay? The more you give me a button, mas matagal akong nagde-decide. Okay? So that is a Hicks law. The more nabibigyan mo ako ng maraming option, mas matagal akong nagde-decide. Halimbawa, bigyan ko kayo ng example. Okay? Bakit sa mga inasal mabilis lang kayo umorder? Kasi minsan, ang pagpipilian nyo, PM1, PM2, PM3 hanggang PM5 lang. Okay? Pero dalhin kayo, halimbawa, dadalhin kayo sa Fortune, no? Ba't ang tagal nyo umorder? Kasi 3 page yung menu nila. Dalhin kayo sa Max. Okay? Ang tagal nyo umorder. Okay? Nakatayo ng matagal na doon yung nagsa-service. Okay? Kasi 3 page yung menu nila. Okay? Do you get what Hicks law is? Okay? So, ganun siya. Okay? Yan, no? Ayan. Kung mag-video game kayo, anong pipiliin nyo dyan? Anong joystick? Sige nga. Anong joystick? Pili na. Switch. Halimbawa, no, yung laro nyo lang Mario. Sige. Okay? Sabi nyo, depende sa game. O, halimbawa, Mario lang, Mario. Switch. Okay? Yung pang SNES po. Okay. About the others? Game Boy. Mm-hmm. Okay. Wii. Tatalon-talon yata dito si Tyron. Ha? Usually, no, kapag halimbawa, ang gagawin lang naman ng character mo, tumalon, bumuga ng power, tapos forward, down, up, and left, no? Yan yung gagamitin mo. Ito. Okay, saan na yung mouse ko? Ito. Pero kung halimbawa, ang gagawin mo is an arcade, no? An arcade, yung may mga combo-combo, like that, no? So, mga ganito ang gagamitin mo. So, depende. No? Depende. So, yan. So, the more nabibigyan mo ko ng maraming button, ibig sabihin, mas marami akong gagawin. Mas marami akong decision na gagawin. Ito, halimbawa, ito. No? Okay? Sisipa ba ako? Susuntok ba ako? Magko-combo ba ako? Just like that. Pero ito, bigyan mo ako ng option ko lang dito tumalon. Okay? Kasi kung wala naman akong power up. Okay? So, ganyan. No? So, this is Hicks law. Okay? Malinaw na malinaw siya. Okay? Ito, example nito yung sa Lazada. Ay isang e-commerce site, no? Halimbawa, kailangan ko lang bumili ng pagkain ng aso, dog food. Okay? Sa tingin nyo ba, madali ko mahanap yung dog food dito? Of course not, no? Hindi. Kasi binibigyan mo ako ng maraming option eh. Okay? At ang magiging drawback pa nito, imbis na dog food lang yung bibilin ko, bibili pa ako ng iba. Okay? Bibili pa ako ng iba kasi lowest price on daily must have, no? May mga pagganun pa eh. Halimbawa, sa Lazada, sa Shopee, ito lang hinahanap nyo, screen protector lang. Kaso may nakita kayo, uy, okay to ha. Ina-add to cart nyo na rin. Okay, that is Hicks law. Okay? So, yun, no? Okay, so example na ito, this is harder, no? This is easier. This is the easiest. Halimbawa, pinapa-select lang ako. No? Pinapa-select lang ako ng type ng polar bear, ay ng klase ng bear. Okay? Lalagay ko ba lahat ng klase ng bear dito? Ito, easier siya kasi hindi kita lahat. Pero using the easiest way, di ba? 3 option lang tapos the rest other na. So ito type ko na lang kung ano. This is the easiest, no? Okay? So ganyan. Now, can you give me example ng ganito? Ng mga option na possible na may ganito? Sige nga, 2 minutes. Easiest, no? Maliban sa bear. Sige nga. 2 minutes. Let me see. Referred sa gadget. Okay. How about the others? Game platforms. Okay. Fill up form po. Okay, so yung mga ganyan. So naiintindihan naman natin yung mga ibig sabihin nila. Okay? So yan, no? Phones. Okay. So yan. So for now, no, magi-stop muna tayo dito in our discussion, no? We will be continuing our discussion next meeting. Dito na tayo sa Adobe Experience Design. So papasok na tayo doon. So for now, no, hanggang dito na muna tayo. And we will just continue our discussion after next meeting, no? So hindi bukas, next meeting. Okay? Question with our discussion. Question? Do you have any questions, clarifications? None? How about the others? Wala naman. Okay.
Wala naman po, sir.
Okay. Malinaw naman ang ating discussion. Hindi naman siya mahirap intindihin. Okay? So, if we have no more questions, sige, I'll be dismissing you. And we will just continue our discussion next meeting. Okay? So, for now, you can take your break, and tomorrow, no, since wala akong laboratory and quiz na ibibigay, it's your free day again, no? Tapos magdi-discuss ulit tayo ng after a day. Okay? So,
Okay po, sir.
all goods na tayo. Okay, bye-bye.
Good day, sir.
sir.
Okay.
Good day, sir. Good day, sir.